This time, it's not about love, money, or loyalty. And the world of Basketball Wives, LA has just blossomed. The plot revolves around treachery, retaliation, and a sinister mystery that keeps fans talking. New rumors circulating inside the group claim that Brandi has revealed Evelyn in a startling turn of events that has left everyone stunned. Evelyn clapped back before the dust could settle, and her revelation regarding Brandi's background may have been the most sensational confession in BBWLA history. There was nuclear energy, tempers were erupting, and cameras were rolling, champagne, laughter, and phony smiles were all part of what was intended to be a quiet cast retreat when Brandi got up and delivered a bomb that broke the silence. "Evelyn, would you like to discuss being genuine? Then let's be honest." Her voice trembling with anger, she yelled across the table. Evelyn froze, her eyes narrowing, a frightening calm taking over as gasps reverberated across the room. She cautioned, "Be careful, Brandi. You don't want me to share everything with them. It's the most explosive face-off in the history of the program, according to fans. Friendships are ending, alliances are changing, and social media is exploding. Because it's war this time, not just drama." The cast of Basketball Wives LA had met at a luxury resort in Malibu as the sun was setting, for what the producers had claimed would be a healing weekend. The ladies arrived wearing expensive athleisure, sunglasses larger than they could trust, and grins that stopped short of their eyes. No one anticipated what was going to happen, even though everyone knew that Brandi and Evelyn's tension had been building for months. It was quiet at first. Matcha smoothies on silver platters, yoga mats on the grass, and cameras recording every phony giggle. However, something was smoldering behind Brandi's neatly composed exterior. Throughout the season, she had remained silent while observing, listening, and gathering receipts, because she had heard rumors that Evelyn's new business deal had nothing to do with business. Producers encouraged the women to share their blessings over a group lunch. As she drank her mimosa, Evelyn, who has always been the epitome of poise, smiled and added, "I'm grateful for growth, and for letting go of toxic people who pretend to be friends." Her eyes darted to Brandi. The spark was that. Slowly, Brandi put down her drink. "Oh, that's what we're doing today?" She spoke in a lovely yet acerbic tone. Malaysia's gaze expanded. "Oh no, not again," Brooke muttered, but it was too late. Brandi looked in Evelyn's direction. "You want to talk about toxic? So let's talk about how you've been lying to everyone and pretending to be happy and healed when in reality you've been skulking around with someone you vowed never to touch." The whole table became cold. Evelyn stopped smiling. "Pardon me?" Her voice was low and menacing as she spoke. Leaning closer, Brandi said in a steady but poisonous tone, "You heard me. Shall I mention his name? Or are we still acting like this?" Slowly, Evelyn blinked. "Just say it if you're hinting at anything. Don't keep your minor clues to yourself," Brandi grinned. "All right. Do you want to be brave?" "We should be brave. Why have you been seeing Lance behind your best friend's back?" "Why don't you tell everyone?" Around the table, there were sudden gasps. Brooke nearly spilt her beverage. Malaysia put her hand over her lips. Even the producers, used to mayhem, seemed in disbelief. Evelyn's expression grew stern. "You're telling lies," she yelled. "That is an outright lie," Brandi gave a shrug. "Lie? Next, describe the pictures. Describe the messages. Now that it's out there, stop acting like a baby. You could cut it with a diamond nail because of how thick the tension was." With a yell, Evelyn sprang up from her chair. "Brandi, you have no idea what you're talking about. Because you can't maintain a man long enough for anybody to notice, you've always been envious." Brandi threw down her serviette. "I don't take anybody else's, at least." The peaceful retreat suddenly became a battleground. Everything was captured on camera. Evelyn pacing, pointing fingers, and Brandi yelling, "You're not real! You are a fraud in every way." The shouts overpowered the producers' attempts to intervene. Even the other ladies were divided. Some were murmuring that Evelyn couldn't possibly do such a thing, while others were supporting Brandi. Evelyn has been playing this role for years. The victim, the peacemaker, the perfect one, Brandi later stated, gritting her teeth during her confessional. However, many forget that I was present when she began. The real her is someone I know. I've also finished keeping her secrets. Evelyn's confession was filled with rage in the meanwhile. Brandi is unsure about when to stop talking. She is in dire need of attention. She wants a plot involving my name. She's going to regret it, though, because her entire universe is going to collapse if I speak. There were murmurs in the air back at the villa that evening. As if they were investigators, some of the females gathered in the lounge to analyze the dispute. "This is going to get ugly if those rumors are true," Malaysia whispered quietly, and Brooke shook her head. "No, this is ugly enough." In another room, Evelyn was phoning her lawyer, irate, walking in circles and murmuring, "She wants to play dirty?" Brandi remained in her room, pacing, phone in hand, scrolling through her evidence. Let's be shady. When Evelyn arrived at breakfast the following morning, she was too composed. The storm had not passed. It was only getting started. She smiled pleasantly as she sat across from Brandi. She responded, "You said a lot last night. So let's speak the truth now." Brandi went cold. There was silence at the table. Evelyn spoke in a poisoned voice as she leaned forward. "Do you wish to expose others? Let's reveal you." The game then abruptly changed. While Malibu's morning light appeared serene, stress simmered within the villa like a brewing tempest. As the gang sat down to breakfast, still in shock at Brandi's shocking claim the previous evening, the cameras rolled. There was no drama, no shouting, and the mood was uncannily quiet. However, it was the stillness before the fire, not tranquilly. Evelyn entered with a serene look on her lips and huge sunglasses. "Good morning," she said softly to everyone, but her tone was poisonous. The women looked at each other. They recognized that expression. Evelyn had not finished. She was prepared and loaded. Pretending not to care, Brandi sat at the far end of the table and browsed through her phone. However, her hands were quivering a little, as everyone could see. She was aware that Evelyn wasn't the kind to lie down and take an onslaught. Evelyn's reputation was based on her ability to strike at the right time and place. "Brandi," Evelyn said in a falsely quiet voice, "I've given what you said yesterday a lot of thought. I was referred to as phony by you, claimed to have been skulking around. Said I've been lying." She paused, letting the air thicken. "But perhaps we ought to discuss yours if we're discussing lies." Brooke bent over. "Oh no," she said in a whisper. Malaysia quickly glanced in the direction of the producers. It was oppressively tense. Brandi chuckled uneasily. "Don't begin something you can't finish, girl." Evelyn grinned slowly and purposefully. "Oh, I'm not going to start anything. I'm only completing what you began." There was a complete silence in the room. Evelyn then revealed her secret. She remarked icily, "Tell everyone why you had to leave Atlanta 2 years ago." Brandi went cold. Her face was devoid of color. "What?" she muttered. Evelyn's tone sharpened. "You heard me. Do you want to discuss receipts? My is my. I have documents. Do you believe you can reveal me? Let's remind everyone of the reason behind your abrupt return to Los Angeles, without letting anybody know." The women whispered to one another as they exchanged glances. "Wait, what is she talking about?" said Brooke. Evelyn's eyes were bright as she turned to face her. "I am referring to Brandi's involvement in an incident that had the potential to destroy not only her career, but also her family." Brandi threw down her glass. "You had best be careful what you say." Evelyn's voice rose as she stood up. "You'd best watch, though. You've been portraying me as the bad guy, but in reality, you have so many secrets that not even the producers are aware of." Chaos erupted in the room. Brooke covered her lips. Malaysia attempted to soothe them, but the shrieking was relentless. Brandi's tone faltered. "You have no idea what you're discussing." With a manicured finger pointing directly into Brandi's face, Evelyn moved closer. "Yes, I am well aware of what I am discussing. Marcus is a man you may recall." "Because I do." The air was filled with gasps. Panicked, Brandi's gaze raced across the room. "You dare not involve him in this," she yelled. Evelyn grinned. "Why not? You mentioned my business. Let's discuss yours now. Let's discuss how you discovered Marcus was previously married to your cousin while you were still together." In horror, the table exploded. Malaysia let her fork fall. Brooke's face was hidden. "What, girl?" Brooke shouted. "You can't be serious." Brandi shattered her voice. "That is untrue. Everything is being twisted by you." Evelyn's voice was harsh. "Twisting? Or revealing something you've been keeping hidden for years? Because I've seen all of the receipts, including the pictures and text messages. Do you want to discuss secrets? My entire family was devastated by yours." With tears in her eyes, Brandi got to her feet. "You're repulsive, Evelyn. You have no idea how that affected me." "Oh, I know exactly what it did to you," Evelyn said. "That explains your current bitterness." To feel clean, you want everyone else to appear filthy. Everyone else to appear filthy. The producers intervened in an attempt to defuse the situation. Neither lady, however, was retreating. Brandi said, "You're a villain. I didn't come here to relive my pain on television. I came here to be honest and tell my truth." Evelyn's arms were crossed. "Then perhaps you ought to have refrained from casting the first stone." The strain was intolerable. Malaysia made an effort to mediate. "Stop, ladies. You're not worth it. You two are currently bleeding in front of the world. Simply stop." Evelyn wasn't finished, though. "Malaysia, she initiated this conflict. I'm just going to stop it." Brandi slammed the door so forcefully that it reverberated throughout the villa as she rushed out. Outside, with mascara running down her cheeks, she broke down in front of cameras. "She overreached," Brandi said. "I nearly broke during that period of my life." She was not entitled. Evelyn sat down again inside, calm and icy. "She ought to have considered it before attempting to approach me. If you can't stand in the dark, you don't cast shadow." Evelyn sent a mysterious message on her Instagram account later that evening, saying, "Don't mention my name before I reveal your true identity to the world." Supporters were split. Evelyn was commended by some for standing up for herself. Others said that she had crossed all boundaries. Hashtags like "Our Evelyn Exposed Brandi" and "Team Brandi Forever" were all over the internet. No one had the whole truth, but everyone had an opinion, because Brandi was planning her next move as she was licking her wounds. And the next thing she was going to say would completely reverse the situation. Except for the muffled sound of Brandi sobbing in her room, the villa was completely quiet that night following Evelyn's brutal disclosure. Every trembling breath and tear that trickled down her cheek was captured on video. Smudged and holding her phone like a weapon, she perched on the side of the bed. "She thinks she can humiliate me and get away with it?" Brandi whispered to herself. "No, not now. I've also guarded her secrets, and believe me, there are other secrets worth keeping hidden besides mine." Brandi was a different person in the morning. The shattered, sobbing version from the previous evening was vanished. Someone cool, collected, yet deadly took her place. She pulled her hair back, put on a silk robe, and stared directly into the mirror. "Evelyn, you wanted war?" she muttered. "Leave now." That morning, production was already booming. There were rumors that Brandi was up to something major. Overnight, she submitted a mystery file to the producers, which the group discussed in whispers. Malaysia seems anxious as well. In her confessional, she stated that whatever she's planning is about to blow the roof off this whole season. A so-called meditation breakfast was the next group scenario the ladies got together for, but everyone knew it would end badly. Evelyn was the first to arrive, looking confident and unconcerned. "Good morning," she replied calmly, but there was strain in her eyes. Brandi trailed along, clutching her phone as if it were proof. To ease them in, the host made an effort. Gently, he stated, "We're here to clear the air, not start another fire." Evelyn's arms were folded. "That depends on who continues to spread false information." Brandi gave a little smile. "Lies." "That's adorable that you said it." "Brandi, don't start." "Oh, I'm not starting," Brandi responded, voice firm. "I'm finishing what you started." Then she tapped the screen of her phone. The sound of a tape discussion immediately filled the set's speakers. "I'm done if anyone ever finds out what I did with Terrence," Evelyn said, her voice echoing across the room. "My picture is no longer there." The room went cold. Brooke's jaw dropped. "Oh my God," Malaysia murmured, and the producer sprung from his seat. "Stop the sounds." It was too late when he yelled. The harm was already done. Evelyn's eyes became wide with surprise. "You got me on tape? Are you insane?" Brandi stood tall. "You intended to reveal me? All right. But let's also expose you? Because you were busy hooking up with Terrence, the husband of your closest friend, while you were out here accusing me of lying." Like thunder, gasps reverberated over the stage. Evelyn's cheeks flushed with anger as she leaped to her feet. "That is untrue. That audio was altered by you." Brandi said, "Evelyn, stop being so stupid. When you sobbed over it, I was there. You filled me in on everything." "You don't know what I was going through," Evelyn said in a trembling voice. "I was losing my relationship, therefore why destroy someone else's?" Brandi interrupted. Anger boiled in the air. For the first time during the season, Evelyn's mask broke. She cried as she said, "You're evil. You have no idea how it affected me. You're making a joke out of something I did wrong." Brandi folded her arms. "No, sweetheart. When you brought my suffering on television, you turned it into entertainment. All I'm doing is matching energy. The ladies surrounding them were surprised and conflicted between sympathy and disbelief. Malaysia gave herself a forehead rub. I'm at my breaking point. Sisterhood is not what this is. This is devastation. Evelyn shook her head and sat down again. You believe you've won? After this, do you think people will support you? You have revealed your true nature to the world, resentful, vengeful, and yearning for attention. And you just showed them who you are. Fake, manipulative, and afraid of the truth, Brandi said. The strain was intolerable. Like two lions in a cage, the two women's gaze met and neither blinked. No argument could overpower the ensuing stillness. Brandi's tone later in her confessional was cool yet collected. I was unwilling to do it. Actually, I didn't. She pushed me too far, though. In front of millions of people, she forced me to relive my most agonizing moments. She's not invincible, I had to remind her. Evelyn's confessional, however, revealed a different tale. She had puffy eyes from sobbing, was silent, and wore no makeup. She said, I'm sorry it came to this. I detest her for treating me that way. However, I could be deserving. Perhaps we both do. We allow ego to ruin everything. The response from the fans was tremendous. The hashtags Jacha Brandi vs Evelyn, Team Evelyn, Brandi was right, and the most prominent of all, Terrence Gate, were all over Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. As fans argued over the validity of the leaked audio tape, it spread like wildfire. According to some, Brandi went too far. Because she refused to back down, others referred to her as a legend. However, a new twist appeared just when it seems that the dispute could not get much worse. According to an anonymous tip made public by a blogger, both ladies were concealing something more sinister that may bring them down. Secrets are out, the narrator's voice said in the upcoming episode's trailer. There have been transgressions. However, what is the reality? The reality is just getting started. If she thinks it's over, she's dead wrong, Brandi said as the camera panned out a window. She better be ready, because I'm coming for everything, he murmured to Evelyn as she held a glass of wine. The conflict was far from over. It was only changing. Suddenly, one of the most intense confrontations in Basketball Wives. LA history had reached its breaking point, but it was far from over. The entire story was turned upside down by Brandi's response, which made the hunter the hunted and made everyone wonder who was speaking the truth. The whole ensemble was left emotionally destroyed in the crossfire. Evelyn's reputation crumbled under pressure, and Brandi's retaliation shocked even her closest friends. Fans are fighting, alliances are changing, and the world is still unable to determine who the true enemy is. The internet is still a hive of activity. Did Brandi overreact in an attempt to shield herself from her own suffering, or was Evelyn's secret truly that sinister? Did Brandi finally receive justice, or did she go too far and never turn back? Two women who were once united by loyalty and renown now stand on opposing sides of a battlefield created by betrayed trust, making every frame of this rivalry feel like a slow-motion explosion. But the repercussions isn't finished, that much is certain. There are rumors of a tell-all program, another sit-down, and more receipts that are just waiting to be revealed. Who will be the first to speak, and who will withstand the criticism? It's your time now. What are your thoughts? Did Brandi play herself, or was Evelyn exposed? Tell us which side you support. Team Brandi or Team Evelyn in the comments section below. To ensure you don't miss a single twist of the most chaotic, captivating reality drama on television, don't forget to press the notification bell, like, and subscribe. Because if this story has taught us anything, it is that secrets in this world don't remain hidden, they blow out. Secrets in this world don't remain hidden, they blow out.